officer today is Brigadier General Chris Easton, Chief of Staff, Air Component Commander, Oklahoma National Guard. In recognition of this important event, we are joined today by many special guests and distinguished visitors. Please hold your applause until all introductions are complete. Please welcome Chief Master Sergeant Chasteen's family, his wife Araceli, daughter Sandy and husband Derek, and their children, Mila, Presley, and Dalton. Daughter Samantha and son Braden, son Levi and his wife Kayla and their son Levi Jr. Sister Diane and brother Donnie, father and mother-in-law Salvador and Margaret Garcia, and many nieces, nephews, and uncles. And our distinguished visitors. Chief Master Sergeant Dennis D. Piazzo, Command Chief, Oklahoma Air National Guard. Colonel Chad Phillips, Commander 138th Fighter Wing. Colonel David Phillips, Deputy Commander 138th Fighter Wing. Chief Master Sergeant Eric Earl, Command Chief 138th Fighter Wing. Colonel Lance Fry, Commander 138th Medical Group. Colonel James Cheatham, Commander 138th Mission Support Group. Colonel Scott Townsend, Director of Staff, Joint Force Headquarters. Chief Master Sergeant Jason McAndrews, MPA, Joint Forces Headquarters. Finally, a special welcome to our current and former Air National Guard commanders, chiefs, first sergeant, members of the wing, co-workers, friends, and family for being present today to share this special occasion. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of ruffles and flourishes in the national anthem, followed by the invocation.
Good afternoon. I'm Master Sergeant Alan Williams with the Chapel Office. If you are so inclined, I invite you to please bow your head with me as we start the ceremony off. Heavenly Father, we are grateful for this time in which we have assembled. Lord, as we gather to honor the legacy of Chief Master Sergeant Preston Chasteen, we are thankful for his 38 years and 2 months of selfless, sacrificial service which he offered on our behalf. You have kept and sustained him and his family throughout multiple deployments, and only you know the amount of TDYs. Now, Lord, we pray that the years to come will be as fruitful and fulfilling as past years. Please be with Chief and his family as they endeavor in this next season of life. Lord, bless us all with strength, defend us from harm, and preserve all that we hold dearly, that we may continue to serve our community, our nation, and our world. In In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Master Sergeant Alan Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Now a bit about our honorary. Chief Master Sergeant Preston Chasteen entered the United States Air Force December 1985. After completing basic training in Still Photographic Technical School, he was assigned to Detachment 1, 1363rd Combat Camera Squadron, Okinawa, Japan, where he was periodically assigned to support the 1st Battalion, 1st Special Forces Group, Torrey Station. After a 3-year assignment in Okinawa, he transferred to Detachment 3, 1360th Combat Camera Squadron, Minot Air Force Base. After 3.5 years at Minot, Chief separated from active duty to join the Oklahoma Air National Guard, where he served as a traditional guardsman from 1993 until 2001. The day after the terrorist attacks on September 11th, he was called to active duty and worked for 2 years. Chief was hired as a full-time technician with the Tulsa Air National Guard in April of 2003, where he served as the Visual Information Manager and Public Affairs Superintendent until 2015. Chief then accepted the job with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and transferred to Joint Forces Headquarters as a traditional guardsman and became the Joint Task Force Chief for Domestic Operations for the air component of the Oklahoma National Guard. In 2021, Chief took an assignment with Defense Information Systems Agency as a senior enlisted leader for their Joint Cyber Implementation Program, where he served for 3 years as a senior enlisted leader prior to retiring. At this time, Brigadier General Eason will provide his remarks.
All right, hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for allowing me this honor and this opportunity. Thank you to Chief Chasteen's family for this. We'll talk about you in a second here, but also thanks to everyone who helped make this happen. These things are just coming together, so appreciate everyone who helped put this together. We'll talk about his career first, and then, like I said, I'm going to come back and talk specifically about the family. But 4 decades, right? Almost 40 years in the Air Force. Think about that for a second. We served in the Chaplain's Office a second ago. 38 years, 2 months to be precise. Probably some days in there too. It's truly just incredible and admirable. And so what I want to do is I want to walk through some highlights from his career. You heard a little bit about it. By a little bit, I mean that much about it. But there's a lot of remarkable things that he's had the opportunity and rose to the occasion for throughout the past almost 40 years. So I'm going to grab my glasses first, which we strategically placed before this. All right, so you're doing the math, right? Graduated basic training in 1986. We were here setting up earlier, and he looked over at a lot of people who helped set up, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll be over." It's been a long time, truly a lifetime of service. With respect to his time in Kadena, he was awarded the Still Photographic Technician of the Year for the entire United States Air Force in 1988. Right? He was with the 1st Special Forces Group at Lewis McCord, out of that area, over in that part of the world, over in the Philippines. If you haven't talked to him, got some stories from him during that time, talk to him afterwards, maybe got your chance. Okay? This is what we make it, right? A lot of these deployments, these special projects we could put on, the job training, it is what you make it. And he made the most of it for sure, especially during that time. Got off active duty in 1993, so he came over to the National Guard. Real quickly, just jump into this here. Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Noble Eagle, Iraqi Freedom, Enduring Freedom. All the operations he was a part of. Oklahoma City bombing response. He is one of 4 remaining Air National Guard members that responded to the Oklahoma City bombing back in 1995. During that time, I was actually in high school in New Oklahoma. I remember hearing the explosion. I don't know what it was at the time, before the war came in. For those who don't know, for the younger people here, that killed 168 people, injured 680, and the blast destroyed or damaged 324 other buildings and caused an estimated $652 million worth of damage. The Chief Chasteen spent a lot of time on the ground responding to that because we have our state mission and we have our federal mission, right? as part of the state mission. And he's had several moments in both umbrellas, the state and the federal. Obviously, been to Iraq, IUD, some of these have been Balad Air Base. Again, domestic responses, the Moore, Oklahoma tornado disaster in May 2013. So, we have a lot of talent in our public affairs shops here in Oklahoma, at the 137th and the 138th. A lot to be proud of. And also with the Army, too. The state does a really, really good job. And Chief Chasteen was one of the core members of that team early on from a foundational perspective. To put the 40 years in perspective, there's 18 pictures on the wall, okay, of former wing commanders here when you go in the front office. He's been here for 12 of them, 12 of the 18. We were talking about that, and he said, I talked about the photos. He said, well, I actually got some of these photos up on the wall, as in his public affairs capacity. Touch some of those candid shots up and put them up there. So we'll take a look at that. You haven't seen them, right? But when he was here for the Moore tornado disaster, his work product was being used to brief the chief of the National Guard Bureau, Joe Grass, and also the President of the United States at the time, President Obama. Responded to multiple other disasters as well, Hurricane Harvey, floods, and I know it's only been 4 years ago, so I was sitting next to Colonel Fry, watching the numbers tick up for COVID at the job. Chief Chasteen was all over that as well. In a true, not a routine emergency, a true crisis situation where he demonstrated crisis leadership and how he responded and how he rose to the occasion there. And then, of course, he did so on the Title 10 tour. So this 40 years is truly incredible. And throughout the time that I've known him, since about 2018, whether he knows it or not, he has reminded me through his actions, his experiences, and his comments of the importance and the significance of the role of a non-commissioned officer in our armed forces. So what do I mean by that? Put another way, when it comes to the word leadership, most people look at leadership as a noun, and they put an adjective in front of it, and you're not wrong. But leadership with Chief Chasteen is a verb. It's an action. And that's how it should be at many, many times. He has exhibited this multiple times throughout his career at all different levels, all different ranks. Why? Because he cares about people, he cares about the mission, he cares about his family, which we're going to go talk about in a second. It's very nice to meet you beforehand. And he cares about this wing, the state, and this nation. So, down at Fort Sill last week, the commanding general of Fort Sill, Major General Brooks, was asked a question. And the question was, what's your opinion about the Russian army? His response was, not very good. Why not? So George Washington talked about good order and discipline in the military and commented that it was the soul of the army at the time, in 1776. But it's also been said that NCOs are the backbone of the United States military. I asked Chief DiPiazzo earlier today, who said that? Who said that? It's a famous quote. I've heard it before. Who said that? Chief DiPiazzo yelled at me from the other room. Someone who knows what they're talking about, sir. That's it. But he's right. And to finish the story, General Dempsey, the 18th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is what she said that. But in large part, General Brooks was commenting that the Russians don't empower their NCOs like we do. Right? Put another way, our greatest resource across the United States military and across the 135 window from the Air National Guard, from the National Guard, is plain and simple our people. And all of us have a finite time to wear the uniform. Every single one of us. Some longer than others. And not many will be longer or more impactful than his almost 39-year career. And very, very few will have as many moments, both federal and state, as Chief Chasteen's. Moments come and go, like today. Today is just a moment. And in the blink of an eye, one's career can be seen as a moment. The time with your family can be seen as just a moment. High school can be seen as a moment for those who are remember and so remember that time. But after looking at his record, knowing him, and others who have been impacted by him, he has, through much sacrifice, met his moment. He's met his moment. When we've talked about his roles and his accomplishments on this team, the Air Force's team, the Oklahoma Air National Guard's team, I want to draw your attention to another team, and that's his family. So he's been a drill service guardsman for the majority of his career. 30 plus years as a DSG, spent significant time as a technician here, which essentially means he's out here more than a drill service guardsman. But he also spent some years as active duty. So I recently received a piece of advice about how to strike the right balance between your civilian job, your military job, and your family. And the piece of advice I got was, you know you're hitting the right stride with all three when all three bosses are equally pissed off at you. So I didn't, that caught me by surprise, because I didn't think that's where that thought was going. But when you think about it, when you take a step back and think about it, there's only one boss, not really a boss, right? So there's only one team, really, right? That's going to be here when all this is over, and that's your family. And I told some of his family about this in the group conference room beforehand, but I'll tell you all this too, because it's a lead up into who he is and his character, into what he does when no one's looking. I think that quote's out there in Disney, or something like that. There hasn't been a drill that's gone by that I've seen this man right here that we have not talked about his family. That he has not brought up his family, his children, his family. He loves his grandchildren, his wife. And he has struck the right balance with his family. And more importantly, he's prioritized what is significant and remarkable and very, very important. And we shall take as a lesson from you. We play well. And do that. So, to Roselle, to your family, I want to personally thank you all on behalf of Major General Mancino, this state, and this nation for all the sacrifices that you have made. Because much service always includes much sacrifice. And the sacrifice there is loss. In this situation, I'm sure there was loss of time, loss of significant events. So we thank you very much for the sacrifices that you have made, because 40 years, 38 years, 2 months, that doesn't just happen, ladies and gentlemen. Right? It takes a lot. It takes a lot of work. Right? So thank you very much for that. So that's all my remarks. I want to congratulate you all, and congratulate you, Chief Chasteen. Just well done. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier General Eason. Chief Chasteen, please join Brigadier General Eason front and center. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the reading of the citation to accompany the award of the Legion of Merit Servicemen. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Legion of Merit to Preston L. Chasteen. Chief Master Sergeant Preston L. Chasteen distinguished himself exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as the State Senior Non-Commissioned Officer, Oklahoma Joint Force Headquarters, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, from 27 October 2022 to 31 July 2024. During this period, as the State Senior Non-Commissioned Officer, he led the Joint Task Force during a rapid mobilization in support of a global pandemic. As a direct result of the spread, the Oklahoma Joint Task Force was called to service to support 77 counties and 4 million citizens during the coronavirus disease 2019 breakout. Chief Chasteen's team directly supported the 137 Special Operations Medical Group as they rolled out a complex mass vaccination program in support of 650,000 citizens over the age of 65. Additionally, Chief Chasteen served in an integral part on the Defense Information Systems Agency Joint Cyber Implementation Program, where he supervised 41 airmen that resulted in contractor cost savings to the government totaling $20 million. Chief Chasteen's Air National Guard team served as an essential piece of the Infrastructure Directorate's Implementation and Installation Division, supporting the Department of Defense and national leaders including the President, Secretary of Defense, combatant commanders, military departments, and national stakeholders. Furthermore, Chief Chasteen reinforced the global enterprise by providing leading-edge net defense support to 99 sites in the continental United States while strengthening global protections through 40 outside the continental United States project management ventures. His embodiment of the Oklahoma Joint Task Force, his role within the state leadership team, and his national cyber implementation work has profoundly strengthened the Air National Guard's response to natural, and network threats, which increased the ability for the 137 Special Operations Wing and 138 Fighter Wing to continue their global deployment rotations. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Chief Master Sergeant Chasteen culminate a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Now for the publishing of the retirement order.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force Special Order Alpha Echo 080124 dated 31 April 2024. Chief Master Sergeant Preston Chasteen is relieved from current assignment with the 138th Fighter Wing, Oklahoma Air National Guard, and honorably discharged from the Oklahoma Air National Guard and assigned to the retired reserve effective 1 August 2024 by order of Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Brigadier General Eaton will now present the Certificate of Appreciation and Retirement Certificate. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Chief Master Sergeant Preston Chasteen, I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of our grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration to those who will follow in your footsteps. And for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done, my best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. Now for the Certificate of Retirement. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall seize presence, greeting. This is to certify that Chief Master Sergeant Preston Chasteen, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of August of the year 2024, signed Charles Q. Brown, General, Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force. Mrs. Chasteen, would you please come forward to receive your spouse's certificate of appreciation? Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Araceli Chasteen for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for your support, which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Given this day of the first day of August 2024. Sammy, Samantha, and Levi will now present Chief Chasteen with shower lines.
Muscle it up, Levi. Bring it on over. Levi, you hold it for a second. Little history about this flag. That was actually flown by a captain. I was hoping he would be here today. I'm sure he's got other engagements. Captain Deuce Scorsoni on a bombing mission. So that was flown over Iraq on a bombing mission, and during the flag flying program, and I said, I want that flag in my shadow box. So that's where that flag is at. My kids put this box together for me. I, of course, provided everything. Colonel Phillips, I know you're going to crack up laughing again, but 4 of these patches in here are no longer available. They've been decommissioned. So. So, General Easton talks about my family and how important they are to me, and as I know they are to all of us. But I absolutely love my kids. There's nothing I wouldn't do for them. Little did they know, when we were in Balad in 2005, I did something for them, and my wife told me, she says, don't give that to them right now. They're not going to enjoy it. They're not going to know what it is, and nothing like that. Just hold off. There'll be a day, that a time will come when you can give this to them. And at the time, we had a little-known captain over there by the name of Dan Rooney flying with us. And Dan came to me, and he says, hey, he says, you know, I'm a PGA golfer. My wife and I just started this foundation in our room up over our garage in Broken Arrow. We're calling it Folds of Honor. And PGA wants a photo of me out by the jets. Would you come out and take a photo? So I said, yeah. So we went out. And so Dan's success is largely attributed to the photos I've taken, just so you know. No, but Dan also said, he goes, hey, if you need me to fly something for you, let me know. I said, I do. I said, I want you to fly some coins, and I'm going to give to my kids. So today is that day, and so that's Sammy's, and that's Levi's. And that certificate, I'm sure y'all seen it around base. It was actually put together by Master Sergeant Mark Moore. So, kids, thank you for your sacrifice and everything you guys have done. All the missed football games, dance competitions, and volleyball. I can't thank you enough. Laughing, Colonel Phillips, you're enjoying this way too much. My oldest daughter there, Sammy, just to put a kind of, she's in her mid-40s now. She's 33. She's 33. She was in 8th grade when I had those flows. So there you go.
At this time, we would like to open up the floor for any additional gifts for Chief Chasteen.
Let's get from the Chief's Council for you, sir. 80 years on and everything.
Alright, so I spent a lot of time at JFHQ, and so I really like the kind of stuff you hang on the wall. I hope this makes you think about it a little bit. So I came to JFHQ about 20 or so, and I didn't get a chance to know Chief Chasteen throughout most of his career. But it did not take me very long at all, spending time with him, to realize what a great dude he was, what an outstanding NCO, and just what a great person he was. And I want to talk to one little aspect of his career that we just kind of touched on, the whole DISA thing. So those of you guys don't know me, I was a 205th Engineering Installation Commander back at Will Rogers. I see a lot of the 219th guys and gals out here I deployed with. And so I'm a computer geek, engineering geek, and all that. If you had told me they could take a PA guy to come in and run installation teams all over the world, I'd have said there's no way. There's no way I decided that you could do that, you know? And you talk about technical skills, and we just need a person to do leadership. We need technical skills. That's garbage engineering. No. All those computer geeks, you got to know what you're doing. And boy, would I have been wrong. All right, so you grew that workload from what? I know you told me before.
Yeah, I working with Major Reynolds. Major Reynolds was the brains and the strategic behind the operation. But when I came on board, we had 26 personnel, and we had grown the program to be approved for 50. We had a struggling 1.7 million in workload, and when I left, there were over 7 million in workload because we're self-funded. We have to pay for ourselves.
Yeah.
And but that's not my doing. That's Major Reynolds. That was him.
So the NCO had a lot to do with that, right? Absolutely, he did backbone of the force. So I've been wrong, but you did a great job. And that's a testament to how you treat people and how well you get along with people and to just you and everything you've done. So I just want to point that out to people that, yes, you can take great leaders and put them in a technical position and do a great job.
Appreciate it.
But I really enjoyed getting to know you, enjoyed working with you, miss you already, and I wish you all the best.
Appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Chief Master Sergeant Preston Chasteen, United States Air Force, retired.
I know we're getting close to 3:30 on a Saturday. I'm going to carry the room for a minute before I step behind the mic because Colonel Easton touched on something that is very important to me, and that's family. So I've been to, over my 38 years, countless promotion and retirement ceremonies, and everybody always says last but not least. Well, I don't have a last but not least today. I have a first and foremost. And first and foremost, I would like to thank my family for all their love and support over the years. My gorgeous wife, Araceli, I could not do it without her. She has been the backbone. We all know this. This is not the tough job. That is the tough job. Holding the family together when you're on those long TDYs or deployments or whatever the case may be. The family, and especially the spouses, hold it all together. And I couldn't have done this, babe. These stripes, it means nothing without your support because I wouldn't have them without your support. I love you. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I love you. For my girls, you made it. I've got a mother-in-law who's feistier than I am. My mother couldn't make it today. She's having some medical challenges, but I know my sister will make sure those go to her room. Strategically placed as well, sir. My grandson was sitting on my lap last night trying to get me to read something. I told him I couldn't read it. He says, why not? I said, well, Grandpa doesn't have his glasses. And he goes, why? I said, well, because I can't see very good. He goes, why? I said, well, because when you get older, sometimes your eyes start going bad. He goes, oh, okay. And he hopped down, he's done with me. He gets ready to walk up, he turns around, he looks at me, and he goes, Grandpa, are both of them broken? This is going to be short. I've got some thank yous that I want to issue, and then a short story at the end, because Brigadier General Easton, he touched on some key things about the type of person I am and who I am, and I'm going to tie that back to not just a wonderful family and all these wonderful people that I have served with, but I'm going to tie it back even further than that in just a minute. And so, Brigadier General Easton, I can't thank you enough for presiding over my ceremony today. I can't tell you what an honor it is. I was telling my family about this man earlier. He's probably the smartest guy I know. His emotional intelligence and strategic outlook is on a level like nothing I've ever seen. He knows what you're going to say 2 minutes before you say it. And you have just made a tremendous impression in the 5-6 years that I've had the opportunity to work with you. And I can't tell you enough how much you have honored me by presiding over my ceremony today, sir. Thank you. I've got some mentors and friends who have been a key part of my life. And I'm going to go through just a couple of names here. Colonel Brad White, he couldn't be here today. Colonel White, we all know there's no competition between the 138th and 137th, right? When I was hired in the chief position at Oklahoma City, I sat on an all-Oklahoma City panel, with the exception of Colonel Hamilton. Hamilton was on the panel. And I competed against all Oklahoma City folks. And Brad White chose me. And I appreciate him. He saw fit to promote me to chief and bring me onto that JTF so that I could help and do all the things that we did for domestic operations in the state. And I sincerely appreciate that. Colonel Townsend, brother, I was doubled up on your books. I know I didn't have to be there and you didn't have to keep me there. But in 2021, when I had the opportunity to go on JSIP, you said, yes, absolutely. We'll take care of you. Go do that tour. You're going to do some good, chief. And it was your belief in me, and I just want you to know I appreciate you keeping me on the books and allowing me to do that. So, Major Nick Reynolds, where you at? Nick, raise your hand. Major Reynolds, thank you. My last tour on JSIP was something to behold. And I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it and how much I enjoyed working for you and your leadership. It truly meant a lot. I've had some instrumental chiefs throughout my career. Some of them are sitting on the second row right there. But one of the biggies is sitting on the front row. We were talking to General Easton earlier. Chief D, Chief earlier, we go way back. But Chief D and I have known each other since we were young staff sergeants, way back in the day. Marcus Hawkins, Chief Hawkins, I know he isn't here today. Chief Hawkins had a huge impact on my career. The same with Chief Hildebrand and also Senior Collins over here. Tell you right now, if you're a young person in this room, get friends around you who will tell you the truth, who aren't afraid to tell you when you're wrong, and aren't afraid to hear it when you tell them they're wrong. And that's what these four men were to me throughout my career. Some of them are here, but I thank you, and Chief D, I thank you as well. I want to say thank you to Senior Master Sergeant Montgomery in the back for putting all this together. Sergeant Sarmiento, Senior Collins again, Alan Williams, thank you for doing the invocation. Folks from the 219th for coming over and setting up in the Preston services. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Jacinta, everybody that came over and pitched in to get this ceremony going. So I appreciate that. So, we'll step out. What's that conversation? So he talked a little about who I am and what I am. And we know I've got a tremendous family foundation, and it has been my honor literally to serve with each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. But my foundation goes back further, and I talked about this at my promotion ceremony when I pinned on chief. My mom and dad, Don and Sue Chasteen, they set me on the right path early. My dad taught my brother, my sister, and I one thing: work harder than everybody else. That's it. Go work harder than everybody else. And whenever I left for Air Force basic training, this man was strong. He made the Marlboro man look like the Teletubby. He was a strong man. He walked up, shook my hand, dipped his head for just a second, collected himself, and looked at me and said, "Son, go make him a good hand." He grew up being a farm hand, a ranch hand, a hand, and a good worker. And that was all it told me: "Son, go make him a good hand." My mom, my junior year of basketball, I came home disgruntled, wanted to quit. Told mom, said, "Mom, I'm going to quit basketball." She was cooking dinner and she stopped and turned around and said, "Why?" I said, "I don't think coach likes me." I said, "To be honest with you, I'm not getting enough playing time." She goes, "Okay." Well, she goes, "Number one, Coach Barkley loves you. That man's known you since you were born. Number two, maybe it's your attitude that's keeping you from getting playing time. And maybe he sees a potential in you that you don't even see in yourself. Maybe he expects more of you than you expect of yourself. So you can choose to go to practice and go to games and have a bad attitude, or you can choose to go to practice and go to games and have a good attitude. Those two choices are yours. But you're not quitting basketball, and those choices are mine and Dad's." That's my parents who laid the foundation for what you guys got to see and help develop. I missed two people in my thank yous. Chief McAndrews, I know you wrote that LOM. I can't thank you enough. And where is Chief Coulter? Where's Chief Coulter? Cheryl Coulter? She's here somewhere. Okay.
Of course I'm right here.
Yeah. Again, you got to have a person that you can look at that will tell you the truth, and they're not afraid to hear the truth from you. So I can't tell you what an honor it has been to be a part of this wing. I've had the privilege of being part of the finest organization in the DoD enterprise, and that's the Oklahoma Air National Guard, specifically the 138th Fighter Wing. God bless you all. 138th Fighter Wing, strength and honor.
United States Air Force are proud to have served with you. Your knowledge, wisdom, dedication, and friendship will be sorely missed by all. We wish you well as you begin this new chapter in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please join us in congratulating Chief Chasteen and his family with the receiving wine and refreshments immediately following. Thank you.